I'll call the meeting to order. If we would all stand and face the flag to repeat the pledge of allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Finally, will you take the roll call, please?
Commissioner Digital,
Here.
Commissioner Wire,
Here.
Commissioner Corbin,
Here.
Commissioner Shaw,
Here.
Mayor Denner.
Here. We have the agenda in front of us. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move. Second.
Do I have any comments or discussion? From either the board or the public? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Under appearances and acknowledgements, item number 1, acknowledge retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine liquor application and set data hearing for July 12th. Randy J. Grunwald, Dakota Butcher, Madison, Inc. This is just normal.
Set up hearing, yeah.
Yeah.
They, do you want to talk about it?
Go ahead, yeah.
They are in conjunction with Montgomery's doing an event in the middle of July that will take place in their parking lot with a band and such, and that's what this hearing is for, along with the one right underneath it.
We have a motion to acknowledge the retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota wine license application.
So move. Second.
Any further comments or discussion?
Just making note that that hearing date would be July 12th.
Thank you.
All parties involved, according to PD, are working really well together to work out the kinks of this, so they're on board with it too.
Thank you. Good to know.
All in favor, signify by aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Is that for both the Montgomerys and
You
that?
probably need to acknowledge the second one as
Okay.
well.
Item number 2 is acknowledge the application for temporary retail on-off sale malt beverage liquor license. Set the data hearing for July 12th for Randy J. Grunwald, Dakota Butcher, Madison, Inc. for the Montgomery Furniture event.
So moved. Second.
Any comments or discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Item number 3 is to acknowledge the board minutes for May. Do I have a motion to acknowledge the board minutes.
So moved.
Second,
Hearing any comments or discussion? Hearing any? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Move down into consent calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved. Second.
Is there any person in the public or member of the public one has any questions or comments about this item? Not hearing any, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Move down into unfinished business. We're gonna open up the hearing upon application for the sale of alcoholic beverages, transfer of retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license and retail on-off sale wine and cider license for El Pino LLC El Vaqueros. Is there anybody here to talk about that? Hearing any, I will close the hearing. And we'll move down into new business. Item number 1, do I have a motion to approve the transfer of retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine license and retail on-off sale wine and cider license, El Pino LLC and El Recueros.
So moved.
Second.
So what are we actually doing here? They're just moving locations and so we have
Yes.
to do this. So if
Yes.
somebody complained about having a,
Yeah, licenses
establishment going on?
are primarily tied to a location.
thank you. Anybody hear any complaints? I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Yeah. The complaints or the move?
Oh, Not a lot of people talk to me, so.
Is there any member of the public have any questions or comments on this item? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Item number 2, set bid date for, let's see here. Bid date of July 14th for bid number 903 augment switches. Brett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. This is pad mount switches. These would be 3 more of the submersible type switches that would finish up the areas that were close to inundation. The 2 that were inundated in the past have been purchased and are here available to go in. We have 1 going in next week. And then these would be the other 3 that were close to being inundated in last flood. And we want to get those replaced. So should we ever have another significant amount of water coming through the area, prior to any other mitigation measures being in place, that we would have switches that could take a substantial amount of water over top of them before they had a problem. So
Thank you, Brad. Do I have any member of the public has any questions and comments on this item? Not hearing any. Does anybody else have comments or questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Item number 3, declare as surplus property, appoint appraisers Kristen Olson, Adam Shaw, Roxy Edrip for the appraiser and authorize for proper disposal of miscellaneous electronics.
Did we need a motion on the last?
Did we get a
I
motion?
No, we
I
didn't
don't
have
have
one,
one, but I
no,
was gonna
no.
go back and watch the video to be sure.
I didn't see one, so we didn't.
It's been a long day. I was at school all day. Sorry.
I'll make the motion on the switches.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further comments, discussion?
What's the bid date?
July
14th.
14th.
Thank you.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, we'll move down into item 3, declare a surplus. Do you want to talk about?
These are just old electronics that are taking up the mayor's office right now. We reached out to Infotech to see if they had any value. They said no. So this is just the formal declaring them surplus.
I'll make the motion to declare surplus property.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion?
Your motion includes appointing the appraisers.
Appointed appraisers, yeah.
So you pointed yourself.
Apparently.
Bold.
Little did I know I was on the list.
Are you okay with that, David? You want somebody else?
No, it's perfectly okay.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Just said, "Oh, I'll drop it off at your house."
Item 4, adopt resolution number 2021-20, amend establish employee compensation for 2021.
Yeah, I can speak towards this. So I'd say about a month ago, the community center came and they spoke towards reorganization of their personnel. And one of those changes was to change a position or into a recreation, intramural and special event coordinator. That position was previously aquatics and recreation position. Since that is a substantial difference, we need to update the resolution that sets the titles of positions and the grade and salaries for them. So this resolution has an attachment for that section B that includes that updated coordinator position. Once this passes, then they're able to go out to advertise that position once this resolution is effective.
I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2021-20, amend establish employee compensation for 2021.
So moved.
Any members of the public have any questions or comments on this item? Hearing any? Does the commissioners have any comments, questions?
Great explanation, thank you.
What I'm here for.
Not hearing any, all in favor, signify by aye. All opposed? Carried. Item number 5. Discuss community center splash and dash 5K for multiple sclerosis, Madison Fire Department.
Good evening. I'm April Lund. I am the Special Events and Group X Coordinator at Madison Community Center. And I'm coming here to ask you guys if it would be for your permission to allow the fire department to help us with our MS Run Walk on July 10th at 11 a.m. So, on the MS Run Walk, it's a 5K. It's a run/walk, so they can run it, walk it. We want family members, we want kids to be involved. They're gonna get wet. We're gonna have squirt guns. We're gonna have a water course. And the fire department would help us with a large slip and slide at the Playhouse Hill. And they're gonna go through that twice.
Thank you. Do I have you need a motion on this?
My understanding is the commission to give approval for using the fire department volunteers, hydrants, hoses, water.
Water.
I think action would be appropriate.
Yeah, so I spoke with Chief too, and we have a meeting after this meeting tonight. And assuming we have volunteers, he had no problems with it, and neither do I. So I think it's a great deal for MS and assuming there's volunteers for it, I'm on board with it.
Do I have any members of the public? Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing any? Do I have a motion? Yes.
But I'll make a motion to allow the fire department to use city equipment and water for the splash and dash for multiple sclerosis on
July 10th.
July 10th.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item number 6, discuss and possibly action to approve proposal with Design Art for architectural engineering design service for phase 2 of the MAC rehabilitation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You should have in your packet the proposal from Design Arc that includes the structural, mechanical, and electrical subcomponents of the set of plans that we can do the second phase. This would do the reconfiguration of the building so we could eliminate the safety issue with the chlorine. We'd also have a small storage facility built on the exterior so that we can store things that are being stored inside the pump house room right now that really shouldn't be stored inside there. And it'd be nice to separate some of that stuff out so that we don't have it. And if you go into virtually every single room inside there, there's stuff stored inside there. So it'd be kind of nice to have some of that in a designated area that we have just for storage, so that we don't have so much stuff stored inside the other rooms in the off season. So that's part of the whole process. So this would get us an exterior entrance for the chlorine room, the redoing of the ventilation so that we have positive ventilation to the exterior with makeup air and everything. So we don't have to worry about pulling in the carbon monoxide from the boiler, those type of things. So it fixes a lot of the ills that we've found already in there. That there's a follow-on to the electric. The electric is immediate safety concern. The taking care of the chemical vapors and that type of stuff is a secondary safety concern. And they'd also put a suction down on the makeup or on the evacuation there down at the bottom of the pump pit, so that any chlorine that could escape would be sucked up from that, and it would be clear that out, because right now there's nowhere for the chlorine to go but down in the pit, and it just stays there. So this would give us ventilation down in the bottom of that pit, which would provide us with additional safety. So
Thank you, Brad. Is there any member of the public has any questions or comments on this item? Not hearing anything. Do I have a motion to take action to approve this proposal with Design Art for architectural engineering design service for phase 2 of MAC rehabilitation?
I'll make the motion.
Second. You have one question
Yeah, I do too. So go ahead.
on the, they make it known to note the additional printing. Is that normal? I don't understand.
in architectural plans, they're typically done on either like a size C or size E, which is a
Copies of
plotter,
the prints.
a big plotter.
Okay.
And so when you start using that paper is expensive, but a roll of that paper that has gone up substantially. It's been a while since I bought any. But it's gone up substantially, and then the ink that's used in those gets to be fairly expensive after a while. So if you start doing reproduction of the big size sets, that does cost money.
Thank you.
Brad, we're only going to have a door leading out for the chlorine storage and not the acid.
Yes. And the reason for that is that the acid has to have close proximity to an eye wash station. And there's one that's there, and to be able to put an eye wash station to an outside is a little problematic in our weather. And so we'd have to have something we could drain completely out and do some extra stuff, and you'd have that sitting outside. So there was a little concern with that. It'd be easier to keep that inside. We'll put seals on the doors and have proper ventilation, cross ventilation, and be able to pull that, fresh air out at all times.
Is there any way we could put like an alarm system on that ventilation? So if this happens again,
We're hoping part of the reason for the exterior storage was to have a separate area that we could put some of the acids and some of that stuff in, so that any, separated out from the building, so that the, the electrical and mechanical components are not subject to those. And so in a perfect world, we would shut all that down in the wintertime. Right now, we're wasting enormous amounts of energy by having the fans run 24/7, sucking cold air in while we're trying to heat the room. And so if we can shut that down, seal up the room a little bit better, we can reduce our utility bills substantially in the wintertime. So that part of this is safety, part of it's operational, part of it's energy efficiency. So when we get into putting in the VFDs on the pump motors, we should realize substantial savings and huge increases in efficiency. So we're trying to make this the best facility we can in all these different aspects. And so that's part of this.
I use it to my ears, saving money and.
Being
more
safer.
economical.
Yes.
I guess my 2 cents on the chemicals of it during the winter, take them out.
That's,
Take them up to the pool and let them use it. There's no reason why them chemicals should be stored
Right.
over with the winter.
I think they run a little different. It's not
Just the chlorine.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
and we're looking at, and that's one other thing that's not on here, but part of this is going to be a redesign of the chlorine, where we're going to switch over to a liquid form. And the pellet system that we're using, it's a long story, but there's a lot of issues with chlorine right now. And the pellet system that we're using, there's no supply available right at the moment. And so there's, I don't know if it's pellets or dry, but anyway, so now the liquid form is available, so that's what, it's kind of a slurry, that's what we'd be going for. So we'd be changing off the chemical system as part of this too.
So this new standalone storage building is not a conditioned space, I
It
understand.
is not.
I think that's the right way to do it, though, to get everyone out of that building.
Anything that we can, we want to get out of there that we can, that doesn't need to be in conditioned space, we'll try to get out of there. And then there's some other areas of the building we might be able to put some stuff in. But yeah, we just want to separate as much chemical and other stuff out of that area as we can.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing any? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Comment. Okay, announcement. First announcement is next Monday, we will not be having our meeting. We're changing that to July 6th. Due to a holiday. The other announcement I want to bring up is about the rec trail. We're still having some work done with runnings. They have stopped due to the items that we have to bore underneath 34 to put loop line in for the water tower. So they kind of put their project on hold. That's why there hasn't been much work going on the rec trail. Because obviously we're gonna dig a pit and bore underneath the 34, and the pit's gonna be right in the same spot there, or close to that. That culvert they put underneath there. So there's no sense of them laying the blacktop and then we cutting it out. So we should know we are having a pre-con tomorrow with the contractor. So we should know when they're going to be proceeding with that boring and can get out the information when that trail is going to be completely open. Are there any other announcements?
I just want to make sure we thank Jameson and Lori Bunkers and Kelly Brown and Kelly Dibdall for all the work that they put in to get all these activities going on for the kids. I think it's important, and it's been very, very well received. We had 130 kids show up for the movie on Tuesday afternoon alone. So we hope the kids will take advantage of the opportunities they're provided this summer. So thank you very much.
We had our, just go off of that, we had our first trip to a pool, Garrettson. Kids enjoyed it. We only had 15. But I think once the word gets out, the kids had lots of fun there. I see Thursday might be an increase. So,
Yeah, and I would note as we get those pool trips planned and scheduled for this first one, we were really just pushing word out through the school to the parents in the email. As we kind of worked out some of the kinks, so I was fine having just 15 kids today because there are some kinks to work out with the registration system. We expect to have that finalized soon, so then we'll start pushing out information more through our social media and our text alerts and other ways so that our community are more aware of these pool trips that we're organizing, when they're going to be and where they're going. In general, they'll be each Monday and Thursday through the month of July, with the exception of July 5th, because of the holiday. So again, finalizing information there, we'll have more dissemination information shortly.
And then whoever got the quality of life app going today too, I appreciate that as well. That was kind of nice to know. So hopefully people take advantage of that as well. So, yeah.
You get results on that?
On the text app there.
About 200 registered right now.
In half a day.
any other announcements? Hearing any, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Thank you and have a nice evening. Jeremiah. Marshall, can I get a minute of your time?
All right, so.